Welcome back, guys, to another YouTube video. I hope everyone is doing well. Thank you for the support. I see a lot of you guys watching the video, and hopefully, you guys are learning something and are gaining some insight on these markets. Thank you to my new subscribers. I appreciate you guys. You really brought some joy into me. I appreciate that. So today we're gonna do a quick market analysis just to see what price has done so far. And without taking much of your time, as we can see, we have a bearish order flow. It came down into a support area. We broke that support area, traded below this old low. And as you can see, I put a Fibonacci in this area, which is a fair value gap. And I've just divided that into 4 quarters, right? In the middle of the fair value gap is called a consequent encroachment. That is ICT's concept. So basically, we traded down below the 50 area and rejected that up, but price is showing a lot of momentum trying to go down further and looking for another area of support. We do have this right here as an area of resistance that we can seek to trade to in the future. Right, so we do have an area of resistance here, here, and here on the weekly chart. So a lot of areas that I can look at as targets in terms of price going higher. As I've mentioned in previous videos, that I am usually a buyer in the market rather than someone who looks for sells and buys. I'll prefer looking at buys only. So my bias is a bullish bias at always. So what does that mean for me? It means that I'm looking for support areas that could possibly push price higher, right? So as you can see, I've marked this area of support, and you can see price didn't respect that, went down. We have this area of support, price went into that, and it closed within the area itself. But we'll see what price does going into the next week. Does it use these quadrants as areas of support or not to turn price higher? We'll have to wait and see. But now we are still in a support area, so I am still looking for bullish buys going forward. Let's look at the daily chart. So basically on the daily chart, what we see here, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, price came down. Monday to Wednesday, touched that, and then we saw that Thursday reversal that I mentioned that happened there, went higher into this bearish order block, touched that from there and went down. So what I like about it is that it respected the support area up until this resistance area, because that can still be considered resistance to push price down. Because what I consider resistance is what could resist my bullish bias, what could show resistance towards my bullish bias. So we see that this bearish order block showed resistance towards my bullish bias and pushed price down. So we had bullish momentum going higher, breaking this fair value gap, which I would consider as this right here, which I would consider as resistance, broke that, but came down and didn't use it. So you understand the basics of support turn resistance and resistance turn support. So basically we see that price broke resistance. I expect that to be support now going forward. It didn't, it broke through that. So that shows a lot of bearish momentum for me, which means that I'm expecting price to go lower going into the next week, and then I'll see how it actually respects the support level that we have on the weekly, plus the one that we have on the daily, which is this one right here. As you can see, the red orangish support level. I'll see how much does it respect it, because it didn't feel the whole support area and turn, but it just touched it, entered, and then returned up. So that's what I liked seeing that, but we'll see what happens going forward. And then let's look at the daily, the 4-hour time frame. Okay, so as we can see on the 4-hour, I really loved what happened on the 4-hour. So basically what happened on the 4-hour, price came down. As you can see, price came down into that daily fair value gap. And we have this resistance that I've pointed out in the previous video, where I would like to see it break through that to give me a bullish momentum. So we see that it broke through that, can break down, resistance turned support, so it came down, tapped into that, and went higher above that high, as I pointed out in the previous video. So that's good. But now, as you see, it went above that and then came down immediately. And we do have areas of support here, this one right here and this one right here, and those were not respected. So it just shows that if it's not respecting my levels of support, that could show that it is looking for higher time frame levels of support that could potentially turn price higher. We do have our daily right here, which is this one. We do have our weekly right here. Plus, as you can see, the gray area is our fair value gap. Our weekly fair value gap. We still have that also. So that could potentially mean something. It still hasn't fully filled in that area of support, right? So that's about it. Nothing much. I don't want to overanalyze this chart, but we'll see. I don't think it's going to respect this area anymore, but I'll still leave it there just to see how it's going to work, that area right here. But I prefer it going down below these old lows, touch that, and then we'll see if we have some idea or some setup looking like this, and seeing if it can go higher. But yeah, that's all I'm seeing from the Euro USD. And then let's just quickly go to the GBP USD. So we are on GBP USD, right? And as you can see on our weekly time frame, let me just bring this closer. Let's see the whole chart. So as you can see on the weekly time frame of the GBP USD, we went below that, traded down into this area of support, which is cool. I don't mind. It went into that area of support, so it just shows that it still wants to trade into that and respect that or work this area. And what I like to do with that is to divide it into quadrants. So into quadrants, let's see. So we almost touched the 25% of that. So it just shows that it still wants to go down a bit further down and see if it can test that. Nothing much to see on the weekly. And then on the daily, what we have here is we have price coming down Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday. So we have that coming into this fair value gap, as I've pointed out on the last video. We have this one right here, this fair value gap, delegated by this line right here, plus that. We traded into that, and then we showed idea of reversing, but this is a bearish order block. 1, 2 is a bearish order block. That's what ICT teaches, is that it doesn't have to just necessarily be one candle. It can be 2 candles, 3 candles, as long as they're consecutive candles. So it's 1, 2 candles making one bearish order block, right? So we have that bearish order block there. We touched that and respected that, meaning that we are respecting our premium levels or our resistance levels that could push price further down. So even with this one right here, I still feel like it's going to go down further. Maybe fill in this daily fair value gap. That's what I possibly want to see. Fill in that and maybe come up higher. This is my overall target. If price actually shows bullish momentum, trying to show breaking resistance areas and continuously going higher, that would be my ultimate target. This one, not necessarily, but this one is definitely my next target. Let's quickly go into the 4 hour and see what price is actually doing. So as you can see, we came down into that fair value gap. We broke that resistance area, because that I would consider as resistance. As you can see, that's resistance for me. We broke through that, came back down into this support area. This is a support area. Came down, we went higher above that, and then after that we came down again. Right? So that just shows that price wants to find another area of support. We still can use this area of support and see what price could do with that area. If it doesn't respect that, we'll have to look at lower prices to fill that. As I've mentioned on the daily chart, it does show a lot of momentum trying to fill in the whole fair value gap, right? That's the idea there, but we'll just have to wait and see what the week gives us. To say, nothing much to show. We just have to be a little bit patient and allow price to do what it needs to do, so that we can be able to participate at the right time and try to find the most high probability setups that we can find. So you don't try to trade each and every single fluctuation. As I've mentioned, don't try to trade every fluctuation. Be patient, wait for price to show its hand, tip its hand and show itself that it wants to go higher. If it does, then you can actually participate in that. So I hope you guys learned something from this video. Please like, please share, subscribe if you find the information very valuable and you can learn something from that. If you're a beginner, intermediate, you can take this information and use it in any way possible that you want. But I'm just using all the information that I've received from my mentor, which is the ICT, and try to make it into my mold. I'm not trying to change a lot, but I'm trying to do or work with something that's more comfortable with my eyes or how I perceive price. So once again, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Please do it again and again, and let's grow all together. Thank you. Peace.